Hi everyone. I want to talk about the impact that sensory play has on child brain development. As an ECSE teacher, we talk a lot about sensory play in our classrooms, and I try to incorporate a lot or really just as much sensory play as I can into our daily routines. Something to keep in mind is that sensory play is important for all children, not just children who have special needs or children that are on IEPs. So, senses refer to the different ways we perceive the world. There are many different senses our brains use in helping us maneuver our surroundings. The 5 most commonly known senses are listed here, and they're taste, smell, sight, touch, and sound. So, what is sensory play? Sensory play is the type of play activities that stimulate one or more of a child's senses because touch and sight and hearing are generally most accessible. This is usually the focus of sensory play, especially in an educational setting. Sensory play is important to brain development because sensory stimulation is essential for brains to develop and to strengthen sensory-related synapses and functions. When a child is allowed to use multiple senses to accomplish a task, they will learn more from the experience and retain more information. Sensory play also leads to the ability to complete more complex tasks, and it is also just a really wonderful tool for calming an anxious or a frustrated child. I know that in our resource room at our school, I try to keep a lot of different sensory toys for calming down. Most commonly, I use a sand table a lot. I'll use Play-Doh. I have a lot of sensory bottles, and in a sensory bottle, you really can use anything. Some sensory bottles I have really just have like glitter or oil in them. But you can put Legos in a sensory bottle. You can put just about anything, and they're just really great tools for calming children. When children play with different types of textures or tastes or objects, they build new ways of talking about the world. So, for a child, a flower with sensory exploration becomes more than just a flower. A child can associate a flower with a floral smell or with the feel of silky petals or through visuals, bright colors. So really children are able to start talking about different sensory experiences through sensory play. Some sensory activities that can be created using all kinds of different materials found in your own home range from things like popcorn kernels to Play-Doh or even water. Sensory bottles can be created, like I mentioned earlier, with different items placed inside. And sensory bins can also be created, such as the one shown in this picture to the right. I know we generally switch up our main sensory tables about every month. So to keep things new and fresh and exciting for the kids. Currently, I believe the one that we have in our classroom has black beans, and in the black beans, there's all sorts of different objects. I think that there's like numbers and letters hidden, and so you can make it more of an academic activity too, which is really great. The opportunities really are endless. So for an activity, I would like for everyone to write down a sensory play activity that you could create using sensory materials found in your own home. The activity should be created for a student or students under the age of 5.